What's up, YouTube? Derek here again with another episode of Gaming with Derek. Joining me, we've got a special guest from right here in Cleveland, where I reside. We've got an artist by the name of Jonathan Hrusovsky coming on, and he's done a lot of custom things for athletes. But more specifically, he's been doing a lot of custom cleats over the last couple of years. But you do more than that. Jonathan, thanks for hopping on the show. How you doing today?
I'm doing great. It's a pleasure to be here. I'm ready. I'm ready. This is gonna be fun.
Yeah, the gaming aspect of it. You're a big baseball fan, as you can see, rocking some Guardians gear. So
Oh
we're
yeah.
gonna play some MLB The Show. But first, just Jonathan, talk more about what you do, and what makes your art so special.
Yeah. So I customize in everyday footwear, from your sneakers to your flip flops, to little baby shoes, and then all the way up to the athletes and their cleats that they wear every day. But it doesn't stop there. I can also work on multiple other items. You want to customize, more than likely it can be painted and customized, and that's what I do. So yeah, it's been fun. I've always been an artist, and so I was like, well, let's see if I can challenge myself with other forms of canvases. And so piece of footwear is unique, and it has all these crazy little bumps and ridges and nooks and crannies, and so yeah, so that challenge is fun, no matter what the size is, and no matter what the theme is. So yeah,
Yeah,
that's what I do, and it's fun. They say, you do what you love, you never work a day in your life. So um, I'm having a blast. It's great. So yep, there you bringing up some photos there. Yeah, that's one of the latest pairs of mine. That was actually for the great outfielder for the Diamondbacks, David Peralta. Um, his agent and I were talking recently, and he's like, "Hey, David's going to a wedding, and he's giving his buddy some customs. Could you do them?" And I was like, "Oh, sure, yeah, go ahead, no problem. Sounds like a plan. Let's knock those out." And yeah, so that was one of the two pairs. I think that pair went to uh, Jake, who was getting married. That was what was his name?
Jake Lamb. Jake Lamb.
Yeah, thank you. Sorry. Thank you. Yeah, that was his ex-teammate in Arizona there for I think 7 or 8 seasons, and whatnot. And they even came up. That was the Memphis, or not Memphis, Mobile, Alabama AAA team that he sent me for a little portrait, and so he wanted his face on there, and Jake's face on the other one, and then having them hit the ball on the other. So as you see there,
Yeah, yeah. So these were actually worn at the wedding.
those are actually worn at the wedding. I'm gonna have to actually send you. Uh, there's a picture of David and Jake. Um, and I think he gave it to him like the day before the wedding, and there's him actually giving it to him. There's that picture, and then there's also David at the wedding wearing his pair. I'll have to send those to you. Yeah, those are really cool. It's cool to see that because 9 out of 10 times when I'm finished with a project,
Mhm.
it goes off to where it needs to go, and I never see it again. With the exception of a few here or there. And for me, I'm a stickler about perfecting myself, and so um, getting to see, like, especially a few years back, like for example, a few years back, I got to see a pair that I did for Clevenger, and it was really cool because I got to see where, you know, he was putting the wear and tear on his cleats
Right,
and
right.
whatnot. So it's little things like that that I like to see, and just goes and helps the next time I go to do a cleat. What could I do better here and there? So
Yeah. So where did this all begin? And I'm not talking about the custom cleats that you've done, but I'm talking about just finding your love for painting and being an artist and
Yeah.
and all that stuff. Just talk about where that passion came from for you.
So since the age of, what was it, four, age of four, my mom and I were just out and about. I think she was grocery shopping. Um, Me just being a crazy kid, she just wants to get her shopping done. We went down, I think the art supply aisle, and I just started picking up some stuff. And she's like, "Do you want some colored pencils and a sketchbook?" And so she got those for me, and I think like the at first obviously I didn't want it, and so I just put it in the corner. But one night I was like, well, I want to start drawing, and so I started drawing my favorite cartoon characters, and from that day forward, I've just been you know randomly sketching, drawing, painting, you name it, and whatnot. I probably have about a stack of sketchbooks this tall, of all the back in the day and all that of all the stuff I've done. And so that's kind of how it all started. And that was just a simple colored pencil and all that. And then I got into watercolors, and then I got into using acrylics, but I kind of like what I use now on my stuff.
Hmm.
So yeah, that's when it all started. That's when the passion began. So, and never did I think that it was going to turn into what it has for me now, because it was kind of just like a little hobby of mine. It was to relax, just enjoy and whatnot, and yeah, and so I turned into what it is now a couple of years back. So, um, that was a dream come true. Being able to just work with one of the local athletes here and whatnot. So yeah. Whoever thought at the age of four I would be, uh, still to this day, uh, drawing and painting and whatnot. So.
Yeah, yeah, no, that's awesome. That's awesome. We're gonna actually get into gameplay here too. We're gonna knock out some MLB The Show, but
Oh yeah.
we'll continue this conversation. And I'm kind of curious as to at what point, first of all, what team are you going with here? We know you're a Guardians
Oh,
fan.
yeah. I wish I could pick the guard. Obviously, it's the Block C here, but yeah, we'll have to go with the newly Cleveland Guardians. I have to name them the correct thing now, but obviously, but yeah. Well, I'll go with the Indians
All right,
slash Guardians.
sounds good. Sounds good. We'll knock that out. I'm gonna pick my hometown squad. I'm gonna go with the Mets. So we might have a little Bieber versus DeGrom action here
Oh yeah.
to play. But uh, your history of gaming, obviously you've got an Xbox, and uh, when did gaming begin for you?
Oh, oh, geez. I was probably about in my teens before I really. I mean, I had like back in the day, I had like the Game Boy with Zelda and Tetris and things like that. But I had to share that with my mom because she was into gaming as well.
Right?
So I didn't get to really actually have my first game system probably until I was like I think 12 or something like that, and I went over to play. And at that time, it was the PlayStation. Um, and I'm not a an everyday gamer or anything like that. By no means am I super good at it. I definitely get my butt kicked a lot. uh, but yeah, I mean it's just fun. It's just cool, and then how it's just evolved. Like I mean, like I understand we're playing MLB The Show here, but for example, Madden back in the day to Madden now is unbelievable.
Oh,
So
oh, no,
just
no doubt. Except the older versions of Madden are better than the new versions of Madden.
oh yeah, right, right. I just love what they can do with just it almost like I understand I'm playing a game, but at times it's like holy smokes, am I actually there?
Yeah,
That's how amazed I am with these things. So
yeah. Oh, we lost connection there. That's
Oh,
great. So,
that's
let me send you another invite real quick. You gotta love it.
yeah, right.
But we figured it out, so we should be able to hop back in pretty
Yeah.
quickly. All right. I'm sending it to you right now. Cool. So your mom was a gamer?
Oh yeah,
I don't
she
think
she was back
I don't think you hear that a lot, like
right.
with our generation that our parents were also gamers. So what did she play?
Well, she was a big fan of Zelda. That's why, like, my very first game was Zelda. Um, and then she also had the Tetris, just because it's like a mind. It helps your mind, and she wasn't like full on crazy with it, but she enjoyed it. Yeah, she's definitely one of those unique women that just wants to be cool still and whatnot. And I mean, she had two sons, myself and my brother, and
Right.
so she's like, well, what could I do to really bond with them?
Yeah,
And
yeah.
so yeah.
That's
So
that's super cool. That means you never had a household where they were like, you need to get off the video games.
exactly.
Oh,
Yeah, it was always a good time. And like when we'd ever go to like the stores, that was the best because she's like, oh, you want to look at the games. Not many parents would be like, oh, let's go look at the games. And
right,
so
right.
that was always a blast. Like I was like, that was awesome. Like hearing, oh, we're gonna go to Walmart. Yeah, I can go look at the games.
That's awesome. That's awesome. All right, let's start this up. And
There we go.
all right, pick squad. We're gonna play at City.
There we go. Sounds good. It's definitely one of the stadiums I'd love to get to one of these days.
So it's fun.
I
So
want to.
yeah, it's funny. As a fan, I still have not gone to City Field.
Yeah.
Um, and it's been around like almost 10 years. I have not been. I've been to
It has.
Shea.
Yeah.
I was at Shea when Shea was around, but I have not been to City yet. So we're gonna have to make that happen.
Oh yeah.
Oh man, I'm gonna have to change the lineup a little bit here. Whew.
Right. Right.
What do you mean you don't have JD Davis starting at third base? That's just crazy.
Oh man, it's like I'll go with that. I'm good with that.
So obviously you grew up here in Cleveland. So I'm assuming you grew up an Indians fan slash Guardians fan,
I
or where'd that
Yes.
fandom come from?
Oh yeah. I grew. I love all sports. I love basketball, football, and baseball. But the two sports that I truly like are baseball and football. So I grew up with that. I grew up playing t-ball, flag football, all that stuff. So being in the fall time, it's I bleed the brown and orange, and in the summertime it's the navy blue and red. So yeah, I regardless of what happens season wise, I'm always a fan. It's been a blast to see, especially back in the 90s, because that's when I can really appreciate what was going on and all that. And my dad was a baseball fan, um, more than a football fan,
Right,
and he was also my coach, like for like the little uh, coach's pitch, machine pitch, all that stuff.
right.
And so he was that was how we always bonded, was through going to baseball games and all that. And so it's always been a passion of mine. I love it. And like I said, I'll to the day I'll die, I'll be a Cleveland fan.
Yeah, I gotcha. I'm just letting you know I'm gonna test you out real
There you go.
early. Test out your
Oh
skill.
yeah, got me there. 0-2.
Miles
Come on.
Straw had a heck of a season for the Guardians this past year.
He did. I like that pickup from Houston. It was very nice. It was nice to see that.
Yeah.
Um,
This is a
yeah.
guy. This is a guy right
Oh, go ahead.
here. This is a guy right here. I miss in Mets uniform. Ahmed Rosario.
Oof, wow, I look sick on that. Way out in front of that.
He was one of those guys where offensively
Yeah,
he can put up some numbers, but his biggest knock Rosario's was his defense. But he played well this past year in Cleveland.
he did. Yes, he did. It's going to be a rebound season for a lot of guys. I know it's going to be good to see Tito back, and it's going to be strange to see also not see some guys around. I know we let Perez go and
Yeah,
all that, and
yeah,
so that's going to be strange to see and all that. But it is what it is. That's just what the game's all about. You don't have everybody all the time, so.
yeah, yeah. So you talked a little bit about how you got into uh, just becoming an artist, but how'd you make the switch to where you were just like, I just want to paint random things?
Well, it goes back to the challenge. I like to challenge myself, even if it's not even painting. Like it could just be everyday life things. It's the challenge in things, and you don't always succeed and stuff, and sometimes you just have to keep at it and whatnot. So that's how I kind of like look at it as like it was a fun challenge to
Right.
get into. Plus, it was also it was a craze, like it was a trend, and it still seems to be a trend and whatnot. So I was jumping on that bandwagon to see how it was, because by no means am I like the original guys that started all this. Those guys, they're in their mid 40s now and whatnot. I follow them on social media. They do amazing work, and they definitely paved the way for someone like myself to kind of succeed and whatnot in this field. So
Yeah.
and don't get me wrong, I love doing the footwear and all that stuff, but again, it goes back to challenges. Not all these you can do tons and tons of product that just has funky shapes, and the material may be different, and so that's what I like to deal with. It's prevents. Oh wow. Oh.
I just got under it. That's warning track power. That's warning track power. um
So
yeah, so you made the transition to working with some professional athletes. And I know you've done some here in Cleveland. You mentioned David Peralta, so it's grown outside of the Cleveland market. Who was the first athlete that you got to work with?
so my very first athlete was the great Carlos Carrasco, now with the New York Mets. Well, gee, that was horrible. Reyes, ouch. So yeah, so I first of all, I'm sad to see that he's gone, but if anywhere, I'm glad he's in New York, where he can, do good there, and this year have a bounce back season. But
Right.
that very first player was Carlos Carrasco, and the funny thing was, I messaged him on social media at like 10 o'clock at night,
Hmm.
which was once I did that, I was like, Jonathan, you're an idiot. It's 10 o'clock at night. He's not going to answer. This is dumb. And it was just basically just saying who I was. I'm a big fan. What I'm trying to do, and if you're interested, we can move forward. If not, I appreciate your time and all that. And basically, it was me doing a pair of cleats for him.
Right.
There was back in, I think this was or not 07, sorry, 2017 season. It was after the year of the World Series,
Hmm.
and so I said, it's all on me. I want to design. This was at spring. They were at spring training at the time. I want to design you a cleat. You let me know the size. You let me know your style. Your brand, all that stuff, and it's on me. And if you like it and you wear it out there and it holds up, you go forward. if not, again, I appreciate your time.
Right.
So I get all that stuff done. I get it shipped out to Goodyear, and sure enough, he doesn't get the chance to wear, which was, it's okay because there was a good reason that Tito shut him down for some flaring up in the elbow and whatnot.
Right.
So,
right.
I was like, oh, just my luck. First of all, again, I don't have good luck. I can paint. I'm good at things here and there, but my luck is not with me that day. So the nice guy that he was, he's like, well, first of all, because he didn't get a chance to wear him, he still posts them on social media, and the design for that was. St. Patrick's Day themed because he was actually going to pitch on St. Patty's Day.
Right.
And so he posts them. I get, he puts them on his story, all that stuff. And I start getting, all these follows. I'm like, oh, wow, this is great. I appreciate you doing it and whatnot. And he's like, I feel really bad. I want to do this again. But with the season starting, just keep track of my schedule, and we'll go if I play on a holiday, or if it looks like I'm going to be playing on a holiday,
right?
I'll get something done. And so that's what I was doing. And Mother's Day was coming up. Oh, geez, that ball was way out. And so. I whip him up. Well, first of all, this time he's like, I'm going to pay for him. I'm going to get you the cleat and all that. So I go down to the stadium, get all that stuff from him. And what was it? Was it a weather? Something happened where he didn't pitch on Mother's Day. I was like, oh my gosh, I am 0 for 2. This cannot be. And so he still felt bad, but at this time now it's again, it was in the locker room before, but now it's in the clubhouse at the stadium.
Right.
And so all these guys like Jan Gomes, Josh Tomlin, Danny Salazar at the time, they were like, oh, hey, I would love to get something done.
Right.
And so now I'm starting to talk with these other players, and so before I could even get Carrasco on the field with the cleat, it happens to be all these other teammates of his. So, but yeah, it was interesting. And then to finish that off, I finally got Carrasco. It was August of that year, and that was the weekend of.
Oh, ground rule double.
So it was August of that year of 17. That was the first year MLB said we're going to do Players Weekend, and so that was the weekend where players around the league could wear whatever they want on their team.
Right.
Outside of that, the rule stated, before that day, when you're playing, you have to have team colors and it has to abide by all the rules and whatnot. And so Cookie, or Carlos' nickname is Cookie, and so I saw he was gonna pitch on that Saturday. So I was like, all right, I got 2 days.
Right.
This should be nice. If he doesn't pitch on Saturday for some reason, we have him for Sunday. And so the cleat design was milk and cookies with some Cookie Monster blue fur on the New Balance end, and the other one had some slider fur, and so. Sure enough, he gets out there. I was like, this is the best Saturday he's pitching. Perfect day for baseball. And it was the best. And so I finally got him out there, albeit it was at the end of the season, but it wasn't exactly the end of the season, but August and whatnot. And so he loved them. They turned out great. and he actually showed me a picture of them afterwards, because
Mm.
I had, before that day, I was like talking to him about, hey, I'd love, if you ever do get a chance to wear them, send me a pic, because I'd love to see how they turn out. And
Yeah.
they did great, a few scuff marks here and there, but
That's getting foul.
oh,
That's pulling
oh,
foul.
son of
It's
a.
pulling foul. Good rip though. Good rip though. By an ex-Met. Good rip.
Oh yeah, but yeah, so come on, come on, come on, drop, 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 drop,
No,
drop,
Nemo's
drop,
all
drop.
Nemo's all over it. Oh. But
So,
so,
but yeah, that. Oh, go on, go on.
no, so these are some of the shoes that you've done for Carrasco up on the screen.
Yeah, so there you go. You'll see. There's the Mother's Day cleats. There is the cookie monster with the St. Patty's safety. And then what you see, the other pictures, the one in the middle that kind of has the blue on it and all that, that was actually for partnering up with Ohio Guidestone
Uh,
and having kids to help kids read and all that. So we did that for a charity event held at Town Hall back in, I think it was 18 or 19 or 19, 18 or 19, I forget what year it was.
mm,
And whatnot. But and then the other one was the following season. Those turfs down there, those were his Players Weekend turfs.
right.
He wasn't going to be pitching that weekend, but he still wanted to have some customs, and so we used the logo that they would have been using and all that, and just throw some cookies on there and whatnot. And then he was nominated for and actually won the Roberto Clemente Award. So the year after he won that, he was actually pitching on Roberto Clemente Day, and so I was like, well, we got to have something for the previous year's winner of the award, and so he's like, let's do it. And
Yeah.
so the cool thing was with that pair, he actually he sent it to his good friend Roberto Clemente Jr. And so that's how I kind of got connected with the Clemente brothers and the family as well. Was
Gotcha.
through that post and whatnot. So that was really cool.
Right.
And I think, from my understanding, from what Carlos had said, he donated those cleats to the foundation. So I think I think it's in Pittsburgh right there. I believe the foundation,
Right.
Birds Like Foundation and museum, I think, is over there. So I think those are actually there, from my understanding. So that was really cool.
Very cool. Very cool. Yeah. So from Carlos Carrasco, then it then sparked to the a lot of people in the Indians locker room, and Mike Clevenger is one that you deal with a
That
ton. Jan Gomes, I
Oh yeah.
believe you've done stuff with, and then so it kind of just got hot in the
It,
Indians locker room, and you found yourself customizing shoes for MLB players.
it It has, yeah. And so, all these guys that, if it may be a final year there or something like that, or maybe there was a trade throughout the year, they go on to other teams. And that's kind of how previously, like Clevenger obviously went over to San Diego.
Right.
And so we were still doing stuff as he was over there. But I had a few of the players over there just because. I'll go for out. There we go. I had actually. The thing is, it's really cool is agents or players and their agents. An agent can have numerous players, and so the cool thing was Carrasco and Clevenger's agents were a few had some players in San Diego,
Right.
and so that's why I was getting to go do those players in San Diego, and then obviously when Clevenger got sent over to San Diego, I was like, oh, this is nice. So still going to a place that I've been working with and whatnot, because I had before Clevenger went over, I had Matt Strom of the Padres. He was relief pitcher slash starter. They didn't know what they really wanted to do with him.
Right.
And then this past season, I did All-Star Jake Cronenworth. He's he's going to be um, a guy that you want to watch out for, definitely in the NL West for years to come. He's pretty good out there. And so never did I think when I first started with him that he was going to be an all-star that year or this past year, but it worked out great. It was awesome. And he's not one of those guys that oh geez, what were you swinging at, Jonathan? He's not one of those flashy type of guys. He's
right.
Real simple, just team colors, and whatnot. And so when I was doing his stuff, he didn't have all the craziness going on like I did for Clevenger.
Right. Right. Is this a Cronenworth one right here? No. That's Matt Strom.
That's a Strom.
That's Strom.
Actually, yeah, that's
Gotcha.
a Strom one.
Yeah.
I think. Let's see here. Let's see. Try to see here.
Yeah.
You gotta go up. This is.
Right here. Is this him? Is he a New Balance guy? Gotcha.
That's the Strom there. Strom was another guy that wasn't really like.
Is
with the
right.
Sunflower.
Yep.
Yeah. So that was his very first pair going into San Diego. Agent sent me over a pair of cleats and I didn't really get word what he wanted done and all that, so I just freestyled it. And
yeah.
his signature Sunflower and all that, and so that was his first pair. But he loved those, and I think he scrubbed just a little bit more. You'll see. So right there, above the Kobe, right there, yep. So those are Cronenworths. Those were his first two pairs. The funny thing is, I'll show you. So over Christmas, I've been getting. Let me see if I can put it up here. Might be hard to see.
Hold on, I gotcha.
It's a baseball card. There we go. And that pair that you saw right there is actually the pair that he's wearing in the card here with Fernando Tatis.
Nice.
So every year I get a Christmas card, or in my stocking, I get a card. This was a Strom pair that was a Strom pair.
Yeah.
Signed it. This is before Clevenger went over to San Diego, but that pair right there that he's wearing is actually the pair that's in the Hall of Fame,
right?
Which is awesome. And then that's another one, him wearing. It's hard to see with the glare. Sorry.
Yeah.
But so all those were cards that have my cleats on it and whatnot. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah. And I mean, you do other things as well. I mean, anywhere from here's a goalie's mask to batting gloves to fielding gloves. Here's a glove here. Of course, you can always pick out the Clevenger designs. They're super easy to pick out. But pretty much anything that you can paint, you're doing. I know I've seen you do some lifters. You've done kid shoes. Here's a football.
Yeah, we got it.
So
on there. That was the customer was a big fan of Zeke, and so threw that on there. You pretty much you name it. If I haven't customized on it before, I'll learn how to customize on it.
Right.
And so I just love painting. Like it's just you can bring someone's ideas to life. Something that pretty much everyone uses. And, I mean, that obviously is the footwear, but it doesn't just have to be that. Like you'll see that as you scroll through, there's a basketball. It does not matter what it is. There's Sandy with his helmet.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Sandy Alomar Jr., a big biker. And I always see him in the clubhouse with his bike. Um, but yeah, no, the helmet is badass. I've definitely seen this a couple times in person too. Uh, Pretty sweet work there.
Oh yeah.
So, so yeah, yeah. Um, and you've gotten a chance to. We'll get back to playing this game too, but you've
Yeah.
gotten a chance to do some All-Star games too, right?
I have, yeah. So the was it 19? We had the All Star game here in Cleveland, and I had before the season started, we had every team has their fan fest, and so during Tri-Fest of that year of 19, the lady who I was corresponding with over at the Indians, she passed my information along over to MLB headquarters. And I was talking with Jackie Kodo,
Mm-hmm.
who is kind of like their public relations and whatnot. And so I got put in touch with her. We were talking, and she was saying that she would love to have me as the lead artist, and also be in charge of this new exhibit that they wanted to do at Play Ballpark.
Right.
And Play Ballpark was the fan experience over at the convention center. So we we did it was called Soul Power. Is what the exhibit was called, and we literally were just kind of playing up on words. We had music playing, kind of had like that soul beat to it. We had myself kind of demonstrating how everything was completed, from the beginning of roughing it up to go foul.
It's
There we
foul.
go.
It's foul. You got lucky. No, I'm
um,
just-
and then we had a section where you could actually view uh, cleats that players had actually worn, and then also the cleat that the kind I showed you a little bit ago with Clevenger that went to the Hall of Fame.
right.
Uh, they asked the Hall of Fame if we can borrow it for the weekend, and so they allowed us to, and that was there. And then the cool thing was, MLB is trying to bring in the youth, and so we had this cool thing where the kids can sit down. They had this sheet template or a template of a cleat,
Hmm.
and there was colored pencils, markers, all that stuff, and they could design whatever came to their mind. And we, since the event went on for 5 days, we were going to pick five individuals after, one after each day, so five total. And so what five kids got to have their design come to life through me. So
Right.
MLB paid me to bring their designs to life, and that was really cool. So yeah, so that was year one of the All Star festivities. And then so after 19, they're wrapping everything up and everything like that. And Jackie was talking to me, and she's like, "Well, we'd love to see you in Atlanta next year." Or it was LA, I believe. Sorry. And then COVID hit, and we obviously MLB didn't have an All Star game that year,
Right.
and so the next one was going to be in Atlanta, and that would have been this past year's. But then the whole thing with Atlanta happened, and they switched it over to Colorado, and so I thought, oh, I'm going to be going to Atlanta at the time, and and then I see everything on the news and whatnot that's happening and all that, and
Yeah.
then it goes over to Colorado, and um, I didn't hear from her for a little while, and I think we was a couple weeks out, she gets back a hold of me. She's like, Jonathan, we'd love to have you come to Colorado. And I was like, for a second, I was like, well, let me see if I have anything going on. I just couldn't say, sure, I'll see you there.
Right, right.
So I gave it a day and made sure everything was good. And yeah, so took a nice little trip out there to Colorado and spent the week and did pretty much the same thing this year or this past year. Um, I was not the lead artist because they had another artist from Colorado at the time be that person, and so good job, good job, and so that was fun. It was good to see a change, because I mean, being from Cleveland and seeing all the Cleveland fans and whatnot was very nice. Oh yeah, there we go. You bring it up. Yeah, those.
Yep.
That was really cool. So every year, even in Cleveland, they asked us on top of doing what I had done was to make like a fun cleat that fans can bid on once the All-Star weekend was over.
Right.
And so that one there is from the Colorado from this past year and whatnot. So that was fun. I don't know how much it went for, but it was a good time. And like I said, we did pretty much the same thing. But going back, it's fun to see. Oh gosh, John, what is going on? It's horrible. The fans are. It's funny to see because you have you're from Cleveland, you see all these Cleveland fans constantly, and then you go to Colorado and it's all these Colorado fans, but then you start seeing St. Louis fans. You got all those Midwest like teams, and you got a few Texas fans down there or coming up, and
Right,
so it was interesting to see the difference and whatnot, and then so we wrap it up in Colorado and talking with Jackie again, and she's like, we'd love to see you in LA next year. So, nothing's set in stone, but come July, I should be in LA doing the same thing again.
Yeah.
So that'll be fun.
Yeah, that would be awesome if you could do another All-Star game. What's it like just like knowing that your stuff is being worn by so many different people, so many different athletes?
Oh my goodness. What does it feel like? I mean, it's first of all, it's a dream come true. Never did I think
Yeah.
that I could put my art on, first of all, on something that everyone can wear and be out there. And then on top of it, be oh, come on.
Look at the shift though. Look at that shift.
That was nice. Nice recovery. That took a wicked hop there, I guess.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I mean, it's just, it's very nice to see. I'm honored, I'm humbled to see all that being worn out there on the field with all the players. And don't get me wrong, I love to see it on everybody. It doesn't even just have to be the professional athletes. I love when a young girl's wearing it for her softball team, or a young boy is playing for his t-ball or pee-wee league, whatever
Right.
it is. I
Right.
just they're showing off what they love, and them trusting me and allowing me to do that for them is just amazing. So
Yeah. No doubt. Can I ask you about, I'm gonna ask you about something I saw on your page, and I gotta find out who asked for these. You ready?
oh yeah.
These right here. How'd these come about?
Yeah, so that's actually my second pair of heels. My first pair was done for a wedding and all that, but that pair right there was for I connected with Ohio Guidestone,
Uh-huh.
and they had an event at the Rock Hall. It was called the Ohio Guidestone Gala, and it was to help raise money for Ohio Guidestone, and then it also kind of played hand in hand with.
Oh, that's got a chance. It's got a chance. Let's go.
Nice. Very nice. So that actually played in hand with this past year when I was working with Austin Hooper of the Browns.
Okay.
He was actually being honored at the event as Cleveland's. What was it? Shoot. It's like one of recognizing Cleveland. Oh,
Oh, we're
geez,
going
come
back.
on.
We're going back to back. We're going back to
Oh,
back, baby.
shoot.
Breaking Bieber
Oh,
down.
man, oh man. But yeah, that actually kind of worked with in coordination with Austin Hooper, and so that actually those pair of heels went in with a package for Elton John, and so it just basically what it is just has the Rock Hall on there, all the this past year's inductees.
Mm-hmm.
On the guitar picks and whatnot, and yeah, so it was fun. It was a blast, and it helped raise a lot of good money for Ohio Guidestone. So yeah, that was fun.
Yeah. Yeah. That's awesome. That's awesome looking. Yeah, you've gotten to have a lot of different opportunities. Is there one? This one's a personal favorite of mine because I love Wawa. So this is hilarious. But you look back at some of the things you've done. What's some of the is there one thing, whether it's an event you attended or a shoe that you've done that kind of sticks out that's super memorable to you?
Oh, geez. I mean, I love them all. I don't want to really put one over the other. I would say the one that stood out, and it's not even crazy. It's the one that I did for Clevenger that actually went to the Hall of Fame.
Okay.
It's dedicated to his daughters, but because those two movies are their favorites. But the fact that it's just in the Hall of Fame, I guess, kind of stands out from the rest
Right.
for me.
I just saw them. I can
Um,
pull them up.
yeah, they're in there. I know they're towards the bottom.
Yeah.
Stay fair. There we go. Get down. Nice. Yeah, they should be.
Yeah, I saw them not too long ago, but I might have.
Oh, oh no, they're. Oh no,
No, they're further. Right here.
there. They are, right there. Yep,
Yep.
right there. That's it. Yep. So yeah, so that pair is in the Hall of Fame to this day. That was the pair that the Hall of Fame allowed us to have at the 2019 All-Star festivities at the Play Ballpark in Cleveland. So yeah, so it was fun to see those. That was one of his other pairs. Going back to kind of like getting to see it, and it shows me where the wear and tear happens and all that. So
Right.
it was cool to see that. But yeah, no, it's just the fact that it's something I did that's in the Hall of Fame. I understand it has no reason, like he did all the work to get it there, but the fact that he was wearing it during that time, to be honored to have it there is pretty cool. So I have yet to see it actually at the Hall of Fame.
I was gonna ask you that.
One of these days, I got to make it up to Cooperstown to actually see it in person, whatnot. The funny thing is, the way I found out about that was through Twitter. I actually didn't know that MLB had. First of all, the reason those are there is because that year, Kluber, Bauer, Clevenger, and Carrasco had the 200 innings and the 200. Like they meet that the milestone and all that.
Right.
I forget the last team that I think it was like Atlanta or something like that. I forget who did it last, but it had been decades since that had happened.
Right.
each player gave something up, and those were that was Clevenger who gave those up, and going back to how I saw that was through Twitter. Somebody was actually at the Hall of Fame. They they happened to tag Clevenger in it, and they were like, "These are some sick looking." And I just happened to be. I think did he? I forget if he retweeted them or he must have retweeted them because I don't because I obviously been following him on Twitter since I've been working with him.
Right.
And since I saw it, I was like, "Holy smokes, that is so cool!" And so yeah, it was cool. That's just a very interesting way of finding out about it, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah. No doubt. Yeah, I was gonna ask you if you've gotten a chance to go. You've got to get up there and get some pictures with them.
Oh my goodness, I know. I certainly do. Yeah, it's definitely a must. It was funny after. Um, do you get is yours have a glitch to it a little bit?
My what? My feed here?
Yeah, the screen or
The,
anything like that?
oh, the game? The game? No,
Yeah.
no, I'm good.
No, okay. Must be my internet or something. But I just had for a second there it glitched. But
Nah.
what was so after the 2019 All-Star game, or after Play Ballpark ended that year, I actually got to talk to the director over at the uh, Hall of Fame,
Hmm.
and he put me in contact with their public relations, office and all that, and who was in charge. And she was like, "We'd love to be in contact with you more. At some point, we'd love to get you to come up to Cooperstown. One, to also see the cleat, but two, also to kind of do what I was kind of doing that year at Play Ballpark, where kind of like just demonstrating how the cleats are done,
Right.
having kids design their own or bring theirs, and have them worked on there, something like that. And
Right.
so, but then obviously COVID hit, and so I kind of probably have to reach out and see if they want to still do that again and whatnot, because that was that at the time that seemed like a good idea, and I was all on board for it. So hopefully we can do that at some point, because that would be fun for everybody, just anyone visiting, and then even the kids out there and all
Right.
that, because they're the future of the game. So, um, so yeah, so anything to do, all these kids, they see these colleges with the crazy uniforms, and it doesn't have to be the footwear. It could
Right.
all this stuff is just going crazy with the customs and whatnot, and it's just becoming more and more of a thing. And so shoot. So the fact that they can, personalize them, express themselves, and is just awesome. And I'm happy to see MLB doing that. Oh, geez,
Now
did I
you're
hit him?
now you're just throwing at
I just hit
guys.
him. Oh, geez. That fastball got away from me. I apologize. Oh, geez. Man, his confidence isn't too bad right now. I don't know why that got out there. Um,
Just admit you were throwing at him intentionally. But this
no
is it.
way, man. I don't want to put up Pete Alonso. Come on now. I'm already down 3-0, and I put a guy on with Pete Alonso coming up. No way.
Oh.
Let's see here.
But yeah, here's an example of this is a lifter that you did for somebody. I actually
Oh,
remember when you knocked those out, but
it was interesting. He reached out via email, and he's like, I want to do a Terminator pig, and I'm like, okay, it's interesting. I've never heard anything about Terminator, or like a Terminator pig. Like, was there like I had to, for a second I had to actually like Google, is there like some cartoon? Like, is there something? Like, And he's like, no, no, no. His family owns a farm and a pig farm,
Yeah.
and so he loves bacon. He loves obviously all that stuff, and he's obviously a big lifter, and so yeah, so we did that, and it was fun. It was a nice little twist, to put a pig's face with a little bit of a Terminator theme to it.
Yeah.
So yeah, so that was fun.
So, you know, a lot of casual sports viewers are
Yeah,
are probably aware of the custom cleats that they see with football players.
right,
I feel like a lot of football broadcasts usually like to show all the different custom designs and things like that. So I would assume that the artists who do football cleats are probably a little bit more popular, but like baseball, you see more and more, and especially during the All-Star game, maybe they show some more of the custom cleats on the broadcast and things like that. So to kind of be a part of this like renaissance in baseball where it's becoming more well known that players are doing this to like represent their personality or their teams or maybe it's a charity that they're doing
right.
to be a part of that and to kind of help this renaissance. What's that like for you?
Oh, geez. First of all, it's to be an honor, really. I mean, obviously, the fact that it's growing, you know, exponentially, it's been something to be a part of. And I guess it's just an honor to be on that kind of that ride with it. I mean, I'm not one that's trying to up the next guy or anything like that. Oh, come on. Shoot. Um, and so I'm just out there to paint and have fun with it, and just let the personality show off of the individual wearing them and whatnot.
Hmm.
So like I said, it's just an honor to be part of that ride. It's because never did I think back in the day would any of this be even a thing for me,
Right.
and whatnot. So yeah, it's go foul. There we go. Nice.
Um, what's the craziest design you've had requested?
Hmm.
And did you do it?
Um. So there was. I don't do anything with in the forms of like drugs or politics.
Hmm.
There was a request once to do a marijuana shoe, and I was just not about it because I just didn't want to promote that
Right.
and whatnot. So
Oh, McNeil just went 2 home runs in the game.
second one, jeez.
We need to see some. We need to see more of that in person. He struggled. He struggled. He struggled last year. We need some of that in real life.
That was a nice one. I guess I gotta start. Gotta get Beebs out of there. I mean, he's already in the seventh, man. Whew. Yeah. Hold on. I
Yeah, you
gotta
got to
switch
warm up
him.
that bullpen.
Yeah, I gotta warm up that bullpen. Sorry.
Oh,
Yeah.
so you had someone request a marijuana shoe.
Yeah, and so I
That
was not. Oh, go on.
no, no, no. Go ahead. Go ahead.
I just wasn't about that. I was just like, well, I'll do it for you, but and then I let them know about the price, things like that, and um, they were just like, oh no, I'll look somewhere else,
Right.
and so yeah, so they decided to go somewhere else, and I was okay with that. I mean, I said I wouldn't mind, but I just did. I wasn't gonna post it. I wasn't gonna do anything like that. So I mean, I don't really ever want to turn it away, but I don't want to like if I did do something like that, I wouldn't. I wouldn't probably go and post it. And then there was also a political one that somebody wanted to do,
Right, right.
and I just didn't want to get into um, having that. Like I did that cleat or the sorry that cleat that sneaker,
Hmm.
but it was never posted
Right,
just on my end. And then I said they're welcome to post it if they want, just don't tag me.
right. Oh, look at the Grom! Look at the Grom trying to go deep.
Gosh darn it!
Get out!
Oh my gosh.
Pitcher's hitting bombs.
Well, he is known for that though. DeGrom is he is a superstar.
Yeah.
He is a superstar. Yeah. Oh, come on, Beeves. Give me just a little bit more. Just a little bit more.
Gets out of the inning. Gets out of the inning.
There
So
we go.
I I did want to discuss with you since we're playing MLB The Show and we had this conversation that you've got. So for anyone who doesn't really know about the game, you can collect a lot of different things. You can collect a lot of different equipment, cleats, uh, baseball players, because they have you can put together like an all-time team or whatever, things like that. But bats being one of them, and you were telling me you have a design or several designs that are actually in the game.
Absolutely. Yes. So I've been working with a smaller bat company um, out of Connecticut called Tater Bat.
Hmm.
Um, Freddie Vargas and his brother and his family, they it's called Tater Baseball now, but it used to be called Tater Bat. They specialize obviously in bats, but they do gloves, athletic wear, all that stuff. But so that's not gonna help. Darn it. So yeah, so they came to me this was it this past year or the year before? Sorry, and they're like, we're getting um, everything in line. We're going to be putting our brand in MLB The Show,
Hmm.
and we would love for you to do a MLB The Show themed bat that will have our logo on it, our name, all that stuff, and then we're gonna have it put in the game or give it to um, you know uh, the show to have them put it. Oh, come on, get out of here!
Good
No,
rip, right here.
gosh. And so yeah, yeah, right there you'll see we put it all together and all that, and so um, from my understanding, it is a actual skin that you can play with in MLB The Show. So this Tater's brand is in here, and
Right.
all of the players, representatives um, use the Tater's logo and all that. It's I should say the Tater brand, and so that was really cool to be able to partner with them and have something like that that design
Right.
mimicked and put into the game here. So yeah, that is awesome. Uh, they're an amazing bat company. We actually um, they just had the uh, home run derby down in the Bahamas, which was awesome. And
Was that the one that was done like on the beach or something? Like it was done into the water?
yeah, so he actually it was. Let me put on pause here for a second. Oh, what the heck?
Well,
Sorry, hold
that was.
on.
Yep, yep, yep. I'll let it go.
One second. And so let me just switch out here real quick. We'll bring in Tristan McKenzie.
Bringing in the youngster.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. Let me bring him in and then just pause the game here. But yeah, it was so it was the Don't Blink home run derby in the Bahamas.
Right.
And Tater had three guys. They had the Palacio brothers, Josh and Richie, who is over with the Indians, or I should say with the Guardians, and he played with the Rubber Ducks in Double A
Right.
this past season, and so we had those two, the brothers, and then we had Chavez Young, who is a prospect over in the Blue Jays organization, I believe.
Gotcha.
And so the real cool thing about that was, you know, they gave Tater, what they kind of wanted out of on the bats.
Right.
They said let him do his thing, and so from there I did my thing, and it was really cool. I guess the only downfall was Chavez tested positive for COVID, so he unfortunately was unable to use his bat. But Richie and Josh Palacios, they used their bats.
Right.
And that was really cool. Richie had his Richie Millie bat, which was awesome.
Right.
Which is like that watch brand and all that. And so he had the huge watch on his and whatnot. And then his brother Josh, what is it? Built Different is the foundation, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
And so he wanted, and he's from Brooklyn, or they're from Brooklyn, and so he wanted the Brooklyn skyline on there with the bridge and all that, and so that was really cool to put that on Josh's bat, and so yeah, they were using it. They were I forget which team won, but yeah, it was good to see him out there. I was watching it on. Oh yeah, see there you go. Yeah, that's. The one on the right there is Richie's,
Nah.
and one on the left is Josh.
The skyline's badass.
Thank you. Yeah. I was like, oh, that's gonna be interesting to put on there because, I like those type of challenges. The more detail you kind of have to put into things.
Right.
It's fun, and then going to put it on a bat where it's heavy up top and then shrinks on the bottom was also fun because I want to add so much usually. Oh,
Off the glove. Keep him at 1.
Yeah. Shoot. So it was fun to do that for them, and they loved it, and it got definitely a lot of eyeballs seeing it down there in the Bahamas during the weekend. So
what?
And we're looking forward to doing it again next year, as long as they have the event. So
Yeah. What? What's it like doing something like that on a baseball bat? Like I'm looking at the skyline, right? And
yeah,
it's got to be super tedious. One, because of the surface you're painting on, but also because of the fact that you're painting on something round, and you're also having to deal with all the textures in the wood too, right?
well, the nice thing is when you work with bats, there's not as it's not as like rough as you think it would be. I mean, those
Right.
things are pretty smooth. I actually prefer doing bats over the cleats, to tell you the truth, just because the bats are so smooth,
Right.
which is nice. Oh shoot, I should have went for a double play there. Idiot, Jonathan. Idiot. I forgot that guy was on first.
Game
I
awareness.
was just paying attention. I was thinking of the question there. Oh, geez. Not helping my cause, Jonathan. But yeah, no, I mean, I mean, it's fun. It's each one obviously presents its challenges here and there, but for the most part, it's just what do I not put on bats? Like,
Right.
because I could probably do so much. The thing is, you have to account for. Oh, geez, Reyes, what are you doing? You have to account for the logos that are being put onto the bat,
Yep.
things like that, and then really, I mean, what portion of the bat are you going to be seeing? Because when you're swinging the bat, you're not going to see much of it, but so that kind of goes into the factor and all that, and then the first time I did a bat, I was like, well, that's cool. Like I'll do the bat, but you guys got to know I can't, I hope you guys know you're gonna have to seal it up and all that because
Right, right.
um, I don't have the means of doing that. And so yeah, so that was it's good to know that I can just kind of do my thing on it. And gosh darn it, that was a good one.
Got to make that throw.
I
Oh,
know. I think by the time I got it, he would have been on. But yeah, so there, I don't know if you see it on there or not, but there's I had I had done the Hulk on a bat once. The customer had reached out and they said that they kind of wanted to do something with the Hulk, and it
right.
wanted to look like it was smashing, biting through the bat, and oh geez, and um, so that was fun. But the challenge with that was where to actually put. Like I didn't do much with the actual wood. Like I used the wood to be the wood,
Right,
and then everything else kind of went into needing to be worked around that. So
right.
that was a challenge in its own, but it turned out amazing. Um, Customers been very happy with it, and yeah, so it just shows you like the differences. Like that bat's kind of all out crazy with the Hulk and the galaxy look behind it.
Yeah.
Richie's was just a watch, and a little character and whatnot behind it. So,
Yep. Yeah, we're looking at the Hulk one now, and it kind of gives it a little 3D vibe to it. It's pretty cool.
oh yeah, yeah, that he did like that, and he has something planned. My understanding that this summer probably do another bat for him. The customer wanted to kind of do another bat, so um, looking forward to that. So yeah.
What would you say um, is the hardest thing you've had to paint on? If you had a request
Um,
where you're like, this one's gonna be the challenge for you?
so I would say um, it was actually a request for a retirement uh, item,
Hmm.
and it was a glove that had the inside and outside painted. Now, obviously, they was going to be on display. It was never going to be used, and
Mm.
they knew that it couldn't be used because the fact that I'd be doing the inside palm area and all that.
Right,
Well, usually when I do a glove, I only do the four fingers. I unlace those so that I have some room up there,
right.
and then after that, I kind of just work around any of the other laces and all that.
Hmm.
This glove, which I believe it's in there in my profile, so you can probably pull it up. But I had to take out every single lace just because it was not going to be easy for me getting to the inside,
Right.
and and so the probably the paint, all the painting went fine and everything. The problem was having to relace it, and that was something in its own. I actually had to I had to reach out to Ryan over at Wilson Ball Glove,
Ah.
who good friend of mine there. Um, I asked him, I was like, so do you have any spare laces? Because one, I think at the time, I think it was black lacing, but I was like, I kind of want to do like, I think I wanted to do red or something like that. And he's like,
Right.
oh, I don't have a lot of red, but I do have some navy blue. So he sent me a bunch of navy blue lace and all that. But um, I had never done a whole glove before.
Right.
And so I was getting frustrated with having to lace it up. I almost actually sent it over to Ryan at Wilson Ball Glove to see if he could do it because it was not looking pretty for me. So
What was
uh,
what was the design?
So it was like we had the New York Yankees on the outside. It's towards the bottom. Let's see here. Amy.
Right
Oh,
here?
right there, next to the. Yep, right there. And there might be other angles of it too on that because I did multiple views. So the gentleman was a big Yankees fan, so made sure to put facade on the outside and whatnot. And then he loves his whiskey,
Nah.
so Buffalo Trace had to be on there. Had to make sure that that was on there. And then on the inside, and on top of it, he was also a Giants fan.
Right.
So on the thumb, which I think there's multiple pictures in that one that I just.
Oh, you're right. You're right. You're right. There
Um,
are.
and so there's more of the Buffalo Trace there. And then on the thumb, I put the New York Giants helmet. And then to the inside, um, there all of his managers had something unique about him, and so on each finger they had a little something that would remind them of him. And
Right. Wow.
so there was the Harley Davidson one. He must have been in the bikes. The concealed firearm was a big thing. They loved to go shooting. And there was the ape. And there must have been a play, I believe, or something like that. I forget how the connection with that one was.
Mm.
And then the beach with the margarita. It's always 5 o'clock. So make sure you have happy hour. You know? And then I believe on the pinky, it was kind of like an email. And I'm not sure if I got a good angle on that one or not.
Yeah.
But basically what it is it's an email thing, and the gentleman would always use commas and exclamation points and way too much, and so that's why it kind of. So, and then he's got his nickname on there, Boss Man, and then he worked for Louisville Ladders, the company that he worked for. So
Gotcha.
that was probably the most difficult. Like just even with the painting too. Obviously the lacing was the worst part, but the painting was interesting because I've never done the inside like that, and so it's always been the outside and whatnot, and so it just presented a little more challenging work because on top of it had to make sure everything was cleaned off, so there's more time with the prep work,
Right.
more time with the roughing it up a little bit so that the paint sticks, and so yeah, that's probably actually also the longest project that took for me too. I think that was 4 days. I think it took 4 days to complete that one. So
Gotcha.
just because of the little things like that are inside it and whatnot.
Right.
And then on top of it, I had to make sure I was corresponding back and forth with the gentleman that was getting it done to make sure everything was, A-okay and
Yeah.
worked for everything.
Yeah. So how long does it typically take you to do your projects, whether it's a cleat or a glove or whatever you're doing, typically?
So I mean, it could take, like, for example, like what you saw for Chrono Wars, that could be done within a few hours. I mean, I could have it done 6, 7, 8 hours, basically in a day.
Mm.
Something like that glove there, or some other cleats that you had seen throughout the day here, those could take up to 2 days. It just kind of just depends on what projects I have lined up still.
Right.
I can't be lollygagging on certain things and whatnot, and so I mean, on average, it's about a day or two wait to have it completed, and then whatever time it is to ship it through the mail and all that.
Nice. Nice. Very cool. Very cool. Well, I want to wrap this up. I want to bring this up again. 7-0. You got to get the little brag in
That
there real
score was
quick.
horrible.
Se-
That was
Seven
horrible.
nothing. But yeah, I just want to wrap this up. I want to thank you for hopping on and discussing what you do. I mean, you do outstanding work. I've been following you for the last couple of years. I did a story on you, what, 3 years ago
Yeah, yeah.
at the All-Star game that was here in Cleveland, as you did a contest for a young lady and followed you through that process.
Oh yeah,
Um,
Marissa. That's right. Yeah, Marissa's Cleat. That's
yeah,
right.
yeah. And so, but where can everybody find you if they're looking to purchase something custom from you?
So you can reach out on Instagram. Right, it's actually on the bottom there, JHRU04. You can also reach me on Twitter at J Hrusovsky. Um, and I'm on Facebook at Hrusovsky's Custom Kicks. And then yeah, you can also reach out via email as well at Hrusovsky's Custom Kicks, HRUSOVSKYS at gmail.com. So
Yeah, and you do pretty much anything that you can figure out how to customize.
anything.
We've seen controllers for PlayStation 5s and
That's right. Yep.
Xboxes. We've seen high heels, we've seen shoes, footballs, everything.
Oh yeah.
So,
You name it can be done. And if I haven't done it before, I will make sure I do my due diligence on how to make sure everything is done properly. So
awesome.
yeah.
Awesome. Well, Jonathan, I appreciate having you on and thanks again for doing this.
Well, I appreciate you for having me. I wish I could have gave it a little bit more of a game today, but I guess I'll have to practice some more.
Rematch, my friend, rematch.
Rematch. There you go. There you go.